Namaste, welcome. My name is Adri Kyser with innerbeautyyoga.com, and this is Trisha, and today we're going to demonstrate Chaturanga. Let's start with standing forward fold. So I'm going to give you a couple of options how to enter this pose. So coming to Uttanasana, forward fold. Beautiful. Now as you inhale, lift halfway, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, step back into plank pose. When we're in plank pose, we have the options to bring the knees down. So let's start with this variation first. Knees down, making sure the shoulders are over the wrist, and that you have a long line of energy from crown of the head towards your sacrum. Now, there's a tendency sometimes to either lift the hips or collapse in the lower back. So make sure you lift the hips slightly, tilt the pelvis so the tailbones are pointing towards the heels and the pubic bone is lifting towards the navel. Now keeping this strength in here, exhale, lower halfway down. Make sure the shoulders are even with the elbows, right? They're beautiful, and slowly come up. Couple of things that happen here, especially as we build our core and arm strength, is as we lower down, the elbows tend to open down, out, and come back up now. And sometimes the hips spike up, yes, or come back up. I know it's harder to do it wrong once you do it right. Or the belly sags the other way. The other way, belly sags down. Yes, or that movement there. So now making sure that from the knees, and this is what I recommend often so we have the strong foundation before we take it to the next level, is to continue to keep that pelvis tilt, connecting with the core, and then exhale, lower. Good, that will be Chaturanga 90-degree angles here. Now slowly come up and come into downward facing dog, please. The next variation, or krama, will be to come to full from plank pose. So as you inhale, come into hands and knees, plank pose, shoulders over your wrist, press back through the heels, beautiful. Same thing as before, sometimes those hips tend to be high, sometimes we tend to collapse. So we want to make sure we have a strong line of energy from crown of the head towards the heels, shoulders over the wrist. Continue to stay connected with the core. Look slightly forward. There's a tendency to always drop the head down. So as you exhale, lower down and keep that 90 degrees right there, beautiful. And then lower all the way down if you like. Now let's come back into downward facing dog and we'll demo the common mistakes in this pose. Once again, come into plank. This time, what tends to happen, the hips spike up as she begins to lower. So we have this, and sometimes people tend to collapse on the shoulders. That's not good, that creates a lot of shoulder problems. The other thing is that the belly sags, and then they lower, and their hips touch the floor before the even chest goes down. So beautiful, come into child's pose, please. Good. Let's just give her a little love in here. And when you're ready, slowly come up. So my advice to you is to start from your knees, make sure you have a strong foundation, and make sure that the elbows and shoulder create a 90 degrees. So from the side, this will be Chaturanga, and if I'm standing, this will be Chaturanga from standing position, the full plank pose to Chaturanga. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Adri Kyser with innerbeautyyoga.com. Namaste.